Habitat for Humanity of Greater Plymouth is part of a global nonprofit housing organization that builds homes, communities, and hope, and has a vision of a world in which everyone has a decent place to live. Julie Thompson checked in with Director of Development and Outreach, Amy Belmore.
Amy Belmore, Director of Development and Outreach for Habitat. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, Elizabeth talked a little bit about your mission in the intro here, but can you talk a little bit about how long Habitat has been involved in Plymouth, in the area?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you, Julie, first of all, for having me today. I really appreciate your time. So Habitat for Humanity of Greater Plymouth came together. It was formed by a small group of neighbors out of Plimpton back in 1995. And they got together, they decided what they wanted to really focus on, and went through the process of becoming an official affiliate of Habitat Habitat for Humanity underneath the Habitat International umbrella. And all of that was formalized in 1997. So there was a kind of a couple of years of getting things together and becoming official, and we have been operating and building houses continuously ever since.
And let's talk a little bit about that. How many houses have you actually built?
So we've built 14 over that time, and just over the past couple of years, really, we've had a real push. So I know we're going to be talking about our builds a little bit down the road here in this talk, but we really had some strong momentum pre-pandemic, 2018, 2019. Pandemic affected us just like it affected everybody, but we were really happy to wrap up a couple of houses just earlier this year.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
Yeah, we're at 14, and then we also have we've done significant rehabs and remodels on another group of houses. I believe that's upwards of around 8 or 9 significant projects.
So I'll ask you about that again in a minute, about the rehabs that you do on houses. But about let's just talk for a minute about site acquisition. Everybody knows it's hard to find places to build houses for anybody. How do you go about that whole process?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways. For instance, our Kingston build that we finished just in 2019, early 2020. It's amazing to think. I sometimes think back that homeowner moved into his home literally 10 days before the world turned upside down. And, to think that how important your home became, how imperative it was to have a safe home where you could be in your own space. And the fact that he and his little ones found that space or were able to move in just 10 days prior was just astounding to me. So, but anyway, I digress.
That's okay.
So in terms of that particular piece of land was donated by an individual, which was lovely, fantastic. And we're always open to that. And we do have different conversations. That's one example of an individual donor providing land. But more commonly, we are working with municipalities to identify if there are parcels that they'd like to partner with us on. We all know around here how badly the affordable housing shortage is, and all of the towns in our service area have not met their criteria, the 10%. That is really the goal for all towns in Massachusetts to have 10% affordable housing, and our 6 towns are below that, as are most every town on the South Shore. I don't think anybody has hit that percentage.
So do the towns, when they've identified land, or you've identified land, do they actually give it to Habitat, or do you have to purchase it?
We've purchased it in the past. Sometimes, we actually in the most recent case with we built 3 homes down on Long Pond Road in Plymouth, and that was done through an extensive process that included town meeting vote and so forth. So that was very much a real exhaustive work with the town of Plymouth to make that happen. We purchased that land for $1, so you can't really say it was, that was more for the sake of ensuring the project would continue the way the town wanted it to. There's a whole lot of land surrounding it that is in conservation, which is great. And we were able to build two out of those 3 were dedicated to veterans, which again was something that the town and town meeting expressed as their desire. So, and we were very happy to
That's
work
wonderful.
together in that.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about that. As a matter of fact, we had one of the homeowners on.
Exactly. Yeah, you
I
guys
think
have
a
been
couple
great.
years ago. Yeah, that was really that was great. Now, when
I
you
will say, really, just so you know, though, on in other town situations, it's not necessarily a purchase for $1. It's
Right.
coming together on a reasonable.
you negotiate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you do rehabs or renovations on homes, how does that process work? How are they identified, and how do you, I'm sure there's so many. How do you pick which one you'll do?
Yeah, so we kind of have two categories, but they all fall under the Brush with Kindness. So that's our program. It's ongoing, whether we're building a house or not. Our Brush with Kindness program is ongoing, and that is to provide. So kind of on the smaller and more common side, we're doing repairs, weatherization repairs, broken stairs, windows that need to be replaced, railings, things like that. Wheelchair ramp installations. That's something that we do more commonly. We're actually literally about to start one. I think it may have even started yesterday. So those are more common, and it's all through an application process. And all of the applicants do need to be low income qualified. And it's really kind of taking a look at what their needs are. One of our Brush with Kindness supervisor will go out and take a look at the home, make sure it's something that we can accomplish, and work together with the homeowner. We do ask, so those are on existing homes, and we do ask the homeowner to participate in the expense sharing of the materials. Labor is all free. It's all done by our experienced volunteers, but the materials costs, we do ask homeowners to participate in that. And then on the other side, we've done what I mentioned before, the larger renovations or rehabs. Those are less frequent, but we've done a number of them, and we are actually looking like we're about to embark on a new one in Plymouth for significant work in the home, this one in particular, to accommodate a new medical diagnosis in that home where real work needs to be done.
Yeah. Oh, good for you. That's wonderful. Now, all of this obviously costs money. So how do you fund Habitat? What is your major fundraisers, or how do you get your money?
Yeah, so it really does cost money. So combination of things. Again, we certainly write grants. That's something that we're doing on a regular basis, and we're fortunate to have received, inflow of that over the years. Some of our local banks and businesses have been, really supportive over the years, as well as foundations that are not local to us. We also host fundraisers on a regular basis that are open to the public. Of course, we had our big gala before COVID, and the golf tournament, and cooking demos, and things like that, motorcycle runs, and we'll get back to those things. I'm certain of it. We just hosted a really great fundraiser over at Moonrise Cinemas just 2 weeks ago. We were happy to be able to bring people together, our family essentially of supporters that have been longing to see each other, and we've been longing to see them. So that was a great night. And then we have our corporate sponsors and really good business partner friends that have been helpful.
Every year they're constantly supporting you financially. And talk to me about Restore. It's a store.
And of course the Restore. Thank you. Oh my gosh, how could I forget the Restore? So the Restore is our social enterprise. It's Habitat International social enterprise arm, and Habitat of Greater Plymouth actually opened the first Restore in Massachusetts. So the Restore sells gently used and donated furniture and appliances, lighting, building materials, home goods, things like that. We are located over in Carver, right next to Tractor Supply, so right on the Plimpton-Carver line. And we moved actually during COVID. It was a pre-planned move. We were in the process, and then it just became a little bit of a more gradual process because we couldn't open the doors for quite a long period of time. So all of the proceeds, when people purchase items there, furniture, whatever it might be, all of those proceeds directly support the mission of building homes and making repairs and everything that I've explained here today. And so that's a tremendous resource for us.
Sure. So people can actually just bring things or donate things. And I noticed on the website there's criteria exactly what you can take, what you can't take, and that it's very self-explanatory what you can do. Can people get a tax write-off or a tax deduction for things that they donate? Because I know a lot of people that's a big thing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, we operate on donations. Without donations, the Restore doesn't run. So we welcome them. We do, ask for descriptions, photos ahead of time, so we know what's coming our way and make sure that we can accept it.
Yep.
There are some things that we can't accept, as you mentioned, that are listed on the website.
Yep.
And that, we want to make sure everything's going to be saleable. We have really nice inventory in there. People are always shocked when they walk in and they see some of the really nice product available. Unique, we only have one of this, one of that. So
right, exactly. One of a kind.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. So that's the Restore. And obviously, many hands make light work, and volunteerism is one of your biggest attributes. How do you get and keep volunteers?
Yeah, volunteers are our lifeblood without question. And so we have our core group of volunteers. They come back build after build after build. That's about 15 people or so. And then, of course, we're continuously reaching out to civic groups, church groups, youth, even high school students can participate to a degree in terms of community service. And so we'll put word out in newspapers, on social media, of course, is a huge arm of communication for us. But you can always, if you're interested, you can always sign up or indicate your interest. And then even if we don't have a particular project happening at that moment, you're on the list. You'll get contact when we're ready to go.
Perfect.
And I would also say too, some people don't think of it, but we also have behind the scenes volunteer work. When we're looking at land acquisition, we have lawyers helping us.
Sure.
We have realtors helping us. We have bankers helping us. Right. So
it's not just building. I
you don't want to
you.
get all swing a hammer.
There are other things, right? There's other things people can do to help, which is wonderful. Excellent.
As well as the Restore.
Yes.
You can help with the Restore.
Absolutely right. Okay. Amy, a bevy of information as always. Thank you for joining us today. Habitat for Humanity of Greater Plymouth. Thank you, and good luck this season, and good luck with the next build.
Thank you so much, Julie. Appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie and Amy. Visit the Habitat for Humanity of Greater Plymouth website to learn more about upcoming projects or how you can volunteer and make a difference.
If you've enjoyed this video by The Local Scene, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.